morning, Wildcats. Today is Friday, March 12th, one day before spring break. I'm Ben Nielsen, and welcome to a special tropical edition of WCTZ News. But first, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today's episode of WCTZ News is sponsored by Brevard Business News, news that affects Brevard. The 2021 Space Coast Gator Club scholarship application is now available. Go to spacecoastgatorclub.com and click on scholarships to access the application. Now to Jesse Bratman with a story about the one-year anniversary of the COVID-19 lockdown.
A year ago today, hundreds of students packed the gymnasium, cheering on their favorite volleyball teams during Wildcat Challenge. Little did they know, a deadly virus is about to change almost every aspect of their lives. Days later, in another gymnasium, National Basketball Association player Rudy Gobert mocked the virus, touching all the microphones after an interview, only to contract it 2 days later. This is the first time in the United States that COVID made a serious impact.
March 13th, that was Wildcat Challenge. It was a normal day. There was no like COVID was barely in the news at the time, and we were outside right next to each other doing the challenges the whole day.
I was pretty excited about spring break, going into it, and I heard we might have more off after that, like an extended spring break. And back then I was like, coronavirus not that expansive, so I wasn't too worried about that.
Every year on Snapchat, you get flashbacks, and I got flashbacks today from it, and it was just me and Jesse Bratman and Madison Mannix and some videos of us watching and everybody really excited in the gym watching the volleyball game.
Yeah, on Friday I was doing Wildcat Challenge. It was packed, it was in the gym.
The teachers at that point have already said that the COVID was getting bad, so I was kind of expecting either to not come back or that this would be my last day, but overall, it was a normal day, and it was really fun to have my first and probably last Wildcat Challenge.
I remember I was so excited for that day and just all the events that happen in Wildcat Challenge, because I'm a very competitive person naturally, so I was just excited to finally get to do that and compete against the seniors. And there wasn't really a thought in my mind that the world would come to what it is now. If I had realized what it would come to, I would have maybe relished that day and lived in the moment a lot more and kind of just learned to love the things that I had back then.
We had ice cream afterwards, and we got it was at that time that I got the notification that said school was going to be canceled for an extra week. And at that time I was psyched, an extra week of spring break. But as we know now, that was kind of the beginning of the end.
Thought of it as a extra time off, and I was pretty excited about it, hoping I was going to go back to school after that eventually, but I wasn't thinking it would take up the rest of our year.
Definitely expected to come back, but kind of glad we didn't come back because I was going to fail stats. So
I think now it's kind of going away, especially with the vaccine coming out, and it seems to be working mostly. I definitely hope that it would go away because I just wish that we had some of the senior stuff.
This has been Jesse Bratman, WCTZ News, signing off.
Today's episode of WCTZ News is also sponsored by Huntington Learning Center. Huntington has the best SAT and ACT prep programs for students seeking to improve their scores and better college choices. Stay tuned after the credits for the alma mater. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of WCTZ News, sponsored by Brevard Business News and Huntington Learning Center. This is Ben Nielsen. Have a nautical day, Wildcats.